Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the 53rd edition of Water Series webinar, Dialogue with District and Municipal Administrators, hosted by the National Water Mission, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. This webinar series is an initiative of the National Water Mission to enable discussion on best practices of water management across the nation, and it is also a platform to exchange ideas and knowledge how one can preserve the most precious resource, which is water. Before we begin with today's session, let us first watch a short video highlighting the role of National Water Mission in water conservation in India.
जलमेव जीवनम, जल ही जीवन है और भावी पीढ़ी को जल उपलब्धता सुनिश्चित हो, इस उद्देश्य की ओर नेशनल एक्शन प्लान ऑन क्लाइमेट चेंज के तहत भारत सरकार द्वारा राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन की स्थापना की गई।
जल के बिना जीवन संभव नहीं। हमारी प्राचीन परंपरा में भी पानी के महत्व का वर्णन प्राप्त होता है।
राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन के तहत वर्ष 2019 में एक क्रांतिकारी पहल की गई, जल शक्ति अभियान, जिसके अंतर्गत लाखों की तादाद में रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाए गए, अनेक जल निकायों का पुनर्विकास किया गया, विभिन्न जिलों में जल शक्ति केंद्र स्थापित किए गए, हजारों ट्रेनी प्रोग्राम्स और किसान मेले लगाए गए, वाटर बॉडीज की जियो टैगिंग और GIS मैपिंग की गई और जिला स्तर पर साइंटिफिक डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाटर प्लान भी अपनाए गए।
जब किसी अभियान से जनता जुड़ी रहती है तो उसे एक सेंस ऑफ ओनरशिप आती है। वो सफलता की सबसे बड़ी कुंजी होती है।
जल संरक्षण हेतु वर्ष 2021-22 में जल शक्ति अभियान कैच द रेन नामक एक खास कैंपेन शुरू किया गया। 2023 का मुख्य प्रसंग रहा पीने के पानी के सतत स्रोत, जिसका उद्घाटन भारत की राष्ट्रपति महामहिम श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू द्वारा किया गया और 2024 में जल शक्ति से नारी शक्ति इस सिद्धांत को प्रबल किया गया। वर्ष 2025 का प्रसंग है जल संचय जन भागीदारी जन जागरूकता की ओर, जिसका उद्घाटन पंचकुला में किया गया। इसी कड़ी में राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन द्वारा भारत की विभिन्न नदी द्रोणी यानी रिवर बेसिन्स पर कार्य करने का निर्णय लिया गया है। वर्ष 2024 में सूरत, गुजरात से की गई एक विशेष पहल जल संचय जन भागीदारी के अंतर्गत 10 लाख आर्टिफिशियल रिचार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स के निर्धारित लक्ष्य को पार करते हुए राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन द्वारा 27 लाख आर्टिफिशियल रिचार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स को पोर्टल पर अपलोड किया जा चुका है।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के दूरदर्शी नेतृत्व में जल शक्ति अभियान, कैच द रेन और जल संचय जन भागीदारी को जन आंदोलन में परिवर्तित करते हुए पूरे देश ने देखा है।
जल प्रयोग क्षमता बढ़ाने के लिए पूर्णतः समर्पित प्रभाग शुरू किया गया है। ब्यूरो ऑफ वाटर यूज एफिशिएंसी भोपाल, मध्य प्रदेश में प्रथम अखिल भारतीय राज्य मंत्रियों का सम्मेलन आयोजित किया गया और स्वयं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री महोदय ने इस द्विदिवसीय सम्मेलन को संबोधित कर इसका उद्घाटन किया। अखिल भारतीय राज्य मंत्रियों का द्वितीय सम्मेलन उदयपुर, राजस्थान में आयोजित किया गया, जिसमें अल्प लागत आर्टिफिशियल रिचार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स के निर्माण का लक्ष्य 1 करोड़ कर दिया गया है।
हमारे लिए, हमारे पशु पक्षी के लिए और हमारे आसपास के लोगों के लिए, हमारे आसपास पेड़ पौधों के लिए पानी उपलब्ध हो, पानी का उपयोग सही हो और सही मात्रा में हो, ये हमें सुनिश्चित करना है।
राष्ट्रीय जल मिशन जल सुरक्षित भारत का एक सामूहिक सपना है। आइए हम सब मिलकर इस मिशन का हिस्सा बने, क्योंकि संरक्षित हो जल तभी बेहतर कल।
As highlighted in the video, that the National Water Mission is taking a lot of initiatives to preserve water and to manage water in different sections and through different innovative ways. But as highlighted by the Prime Minister and the President of India, that it is with the community participation that this goal can be taken further. So in both the PPTs today, we will hear from the district magistrates and district collectors of 2 different districts how through active community participation the issues related to water, like water stress and the quality of water, were addressed according to the regional issues. So we will have the presentation from Saket Malviya sir first. And before that, I would just like to welcome our special guest, Ms. Archana Verma, Mission Director of National Water Mission, Ministry of Jal Shakti. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us for the session today. And I would also like to welcome Mr. Saket Malviya, District Collector and Magistrate, Ashoknagar, Madhya Pradesh. He's joining us, but I think he's facing some technical issues due to which he's not visible on the screen right now. And we also have with us Mr. Rajarshi Shah, District Collector and Magistrate of Adilabad, Telangana. A very warm welcome to both of you, and thanks a lot for joining us today. We can also see that we have a couple of students who have joined us from Adilabad schools. We have Vignesh and Akshara, and there is one more student who will be joining us. So thank you to both the students for joining us today. I think they have some really interesting questions that they would want to ask at the end of the session. So we will take them up as soon as the presentations get over. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We will have presentation from Ashok Nagar first, but before we begin, I would just like to request Archana ma'am to reiterate for our audiences the vision and mission of National Water Mission and how it has been contributing to conserve the most precious resource, that is water. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ananya. Welcome, Rajshri, and welcome, Saket, and welcome, Akshara and Vignesh. It is such a pleasure to see you all. As you all know, you know that these two district collectors have demonstrated exemplary leadership in tackling water challenges in their districts. And as Honorable Prime Minister always says, that water cannot be just a government approach. It has to be a whole of society, whole of government approach, where even Akshara's small contribution of closing the tap while brushing, or Vignesh's small contribution of bathing with a bucket and not taking a shower for a long time will go a long way in saving water. Water, as we all know, is life. You have seen that, you must have read about Cape Town, where there was no water, and the place just collapsed. They say that we can survive without love, but we cannot survive without water. So water is life, and for a sustainable water management, the participation of people, the participation of community, the participation of students is very, very important. So I will not take much time because we will see how these two districts have transformed the water scenario in their district through the leadership of two very dynamic collectors. And I think it is better to hear them, because whatever I had to say is already there in the profile video. So if we can't get Saket, we can have Rajshri first. So
Yeah, I think
Rajshri
he's
is
still
also
facing issues.
a person who has just transformed Adilabad from a water scarce district to, a thriving with a declining groundwater table. It has seen a transformational shift under Rajshri's leadership, and he has built around 98,000 structures under the Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari. So the kind of leadership he has given, Adilabad has become number one in the South Zone and has won the Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari award last year. So we would love to hear more from Rajshri. Uh, because I think Saket is still not around. So over to you, Ananya, and to Rajshri.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think, yes, I think Saket sir is still facing some technical issues. But meanwhile, we can definitely have Rajarshi sir's presentation first, and then we can have Saket sir's. So, sir, over to you. and really excited to see your presentation.
Yeah. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon to Archana madam and other officers, and also two students from Adilabad, Vignesh and Akshara. So thank you, ma'am, for giving this opportunity to present our district success story. The video in the beginning was very inspirational and motivating for all of us. We will continue our journey in the same spirit in this year and in the years to come, ma'am. I would request to kindly load the PPT, please.
Sure, sir. Will you be playing it from your end or should we play it?
You can please play.
Okay, Chirag, let's have the PPT. Yes.
Thank you. So this is our district story from water stress to water scarcity. So whatever the pillars of our success, we will be presenting in the coming slides. Different schemes, convergence, and then Jan Bhagidari and partnership from the community organizers as well as the CSR support. So all this has helped in our journey. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next. So this is our district profile. So we have an area of more than 4,000 square kilometers, and 40% of that is forested area. Predominantly tribal habitations are there. Though we have high precipitation, but it is concentrated in the monsoon season. And the strata, it's mostly basaltic as well as limestone formations. So in spite of having high rainfall, we have been facing a challenge to store the rain, that is catch the rain where it falls. So that challenge has been there, but how to address that challenge also, we have find out some way, and over a period there has been an increase in the groundwater levels also. We are having a predominantly agrarian economy, and most of the holdings are small holdings only, and they are also traditionally dependent on the monsoon led cultivation. So this is the entire challenge which we are facing. Next. So as I told, like we have faced a rapid surface runoff. So because of the forest area as well as many like the habitations are also established in the slopy catchments, as well as the farm cultivation is also very much in the slopy catchment. So which has caused a lot of runoff also. The tanks, though we earlier we had taken the desilting of the tanks, but over the years, because of the lack of maintenance, lot of silting had also occurred. Because of that, storage had decreased, as well as the groundwater table has also decreased. We had been facing a major challenge earlier, basically pre 2020. So most of the villages, like tribal habitation villages, they were ultimately dependent on the tankers during the peak summer months. So this challenge we had been facing, and we have been able to address. Irrigation efficiency also. So this is also very important. We need to conserve the water also. So particularly since we are an agrarian economy in Adilabad, so the irrigation efficiency has been also very low. Because of that, the water utilization has been very high. So that also we have been tried to address through various department convergence. Next. We have actually adopted a scientific method, so composite landscape assessment and restoration tool. So that we have adopted. It's basically a GIS based scientific methodology for watershed planning. So we have identified different zones. So as it's clearly visible also. So there are recharge zones which are particularly helpful, and where we can implement the percolation structures. We have identified the service storage areas which are particularly suitable for the tanks and check dams. Then there are regeneration activity zones where we have to particularly take afforestation. Then ridge areas where contour trenches are more suitable, as well as the valley zones which are basically suitable for the water storage. So this helped in ultimately implementing the ridge to valley approach. So that is different color coded zones. This has been identified, and it has ultimately helped in the midway. Actually, we did this task in 2024. So before that, whatever the watershed structures have been implemented, that also have been implemented on the basis of ridge to valley approach. But later, this has ultimately helped in more strategic placement and more strategic implementation of the water-based conservation structures in the district. Next, please. So as I told ma'am, so earlier the 40% of the villages, they had been affected on the tankers and single crop cycle, that also entirely monsoon based cropping pattern, rain fed cropping pattern. And through this integrated governance module, as ma'am has also told, 98,693 conservation structures, they have been implemented, they have been geotagged, and they have been led through the community involvement, community partnership, and community-based monitoring has been very helpful. And the change which has happened is the drinking water supply that has improved a lot. Now we are able to ensure year-round drinking water, which has ensured the self-sufficient villages. Double cropping has also increased. So now in the Rabi season also, particularly, we are seeing that many farmers now they are coming forward and doing the double cropping also, which was very limited in the pre 2020. But from 2020 to 24 onwards, this double cropping has also increased, which has also ensured that farmer income levels have also increased, as because of the improved irrigation efficiency, groundwater levels have also increased. Next please. So this is basically our 5 pillars of our integrated water governance model. So first thing is we have to strengthen our natural water resources, particularly the forest catchments. Then we have to augment our storages, which have been ensured through creating check dams, percolation tanks, and form ponds. Demand side efficiency is also very important, which I have told, like through micro irrigation and improved irrigation water use efficiency. Scheme convergence. So we have converged many various schemes. So with the support of Niti Aayog aspirational block also, particularly we have implemented the desiltation of water tanks on a large scale. Then PM KSY 1.0 and 2.0. So that also we have implemented in 2 watershed clusters, 2 tribal dominated watershed clusters, and obviously Jal Jeevan Mission, which is a convergence of NREGS, CSR support, as well as the community-based partnerships. So these were the 5 pillars, and these are 3 initiatives which have helped us a lot to improve the groundwater levels. Next, please. So natural asset planning approach, that is a ridge to valley watershed model. So the basically comprises of the 4 steps. So as I told, like we are having 40% forest area. So continuous contour trenches, these are very suitable in Adilabad district. So this we have implemented on a large scale. So ultimately, as we know, that it follows the natural topography to slow the water movement. Then trench bunding, particularly in the farmlands. So trench bunding has been created. So because many times the farm fields are also not on a like even level, they are also on a slopey level. So that's why we have been able to ensure the trench bunding, which also ensures that water velocity is reduced and soil erosion is reduced. Then at the valley levels, we have constructed the tanks and ponds with the help of Niti Aayog, as well as for the PMKSY 2.0 and 1.0. And this entire concept has been on the basis of the ridge to valley. We have got a technical partner, whose name Avni Foundation is also there. So they basically came in with the support of Niti Aayog, which has helped us in implementing CLART, as well as monitoring this through an app. So Avni app was designed, which helped in geotagging of the structures and also uploading what the work has been done, how much quantity of work has been done, how much amount has been spent, who all were the stakeholders. So this helped in ultimately ensuring that monitoring is there and transparency is also there. Next, please. So this Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari led water and soil conservation structures. So 22 categories of works we have undertaken under NREGS and watershed development. Mainly trenches have been taken, contour trenches, staggered trenches, and check dams have been constructed, again on the basis of the ridge to valley approach. Farm ponds as well as the recharge structures, percolation tanks have been constructed. Total 98,693. So we have been the highest in the number as well as in the monitoring in the south zone. And I am thankful to MD Madam as well as Secretary Sir for recognizing our efforts, as well as giving Adilabad Award, which has been a much kind of motivation as well as booster to our staff. And the entire now many different segments of the community, they are also now coming forward. They are recognizing the need for the water conservation. Like the message is now actually reaching to the ground level. So whenever the message reaches at the ground level, then only the community ownership happens, as well as the water conservation happens. So in this also, SHGs and watershed committees, farmers, gram panchayats, because of all of their support, we have been able to implement 98,693 JSJB works. Next, please. this is very important, ma'am. Like soak pits, we have constructed a large number of soak pits. This is very important. Particularly, it ensures obviously improvement in the groundwater level, as well as it ensures sanitation also. So many times we see the problem of the water stagnation, water logging. So it's a kind of integration of Jal Jeevan Mission as well as Swachh Bharat Mission. So that I would particularly highlight because it ensures that grey water management is there, as well as water supply sustainability is there. This will be individual soak pit, so it ultimately means that community involvement, each and every person involvement has been ensured. Individual soak pits, as we can see, it's on a very high number, as well as community soak pits at the public places. So entire community involvement, Jan Bhagidari, what is the main focus of Jal Jeevan Mission as well as JSJB, that has been ensured through this. Next, please. These are few of the pictures, ma'am. So community soak pits as well as this check dam, and this in under PMKSY watershed also. So a percolation tank before and after. So we will see in the coming slides also the testimonials of the farmers as well as a video how the farmers are very happy because of these schemes and how the water sustainability has been ensured. Next, please. So PMKSY 2.0, as I told ma'am, so we have implemented in 2 tribal clusters, Jhari cluster in Talamadugu and Kothapalli cluster in Gadiguda. So a total of around 9 crores investment has been undertaken, and it has been done through community mobilization through watershed committees. And there has been a remarkable change. The groundwater level rise has been there in 2 clusters. The double cropping has been ensured, as well as the water use efficiency has been ensured. So the income levels of farming have also increased in these 2 tribal clusters. So we will also see in the coming slides in the testimonials. Next, please. This we have taken, ma'am, particularly in order to ensure the awareness among the school children. So we have taken up an initiative of Mana Badi Mana Niru. So Mana Badi means our school, Mana Niru means our water. So we have taken it on a saturation mode in all the schools, focusing particularly on the community soak pits and rooftop rainwater harvesting structures. So we have already taken up, and we will complete in this financial year only. So there are huge impacts. One thing is we are creating awareness among the students as well as among the parents. Second thing, we are able to ensure to resolve the problem of water stagnation in the schools. Third thing is improvement in the groundwater levels in the schools. Fourth thing is obviously improving the sanitation and good practices. Like if the water availability is there in the schools, the other related problems, particularly related to health, will also be able to we will be able to resolve. So it can be hand wash hygiene practices, and it can be having a good quality of water for the midday meal cooking, so etc. Everything will be taken care, particularly in the schools. So it's a scheme which has also got good response from the students as well as teachers. So particularly we have implemented this on a saturation mode. Next, please. So in Narnur aspirational block, so as I told, with the support of Niti Aayog, so we have taken up the desiltation on a large scale. So 79,300 cubic meters desilting has been done, and 30,16,370 cubic meters of storage has been created. Irrigation potential of 1,200 acres. So we have taken it in the last year, and currently we are seeing the results. So now the tanks are full with water after the monsoon season, and the farmers are also very happy. And this now the demand is coming from other mandals also, where few tanks are still left. So that also we are planning to take it up with community ownership as well as the CSR based support, ma'am. So this is just a depiction, ma'am, like earlier pre-monsoon. So we have developed some kind of index to assess. So how this task has helped ultimately in the groundwater level. So pre-monsoon, actually the water levels were low to moderate, ma'am. Then after post-monsoon, we are seeing in the winter season currently. So the water levels are good to very good. So this change is clearly depicted because of this scale, ma'am. Next, please. These are just the pictures, ma'am, of tank desiltation. As we know, that silt is ultimately carted to the farmer fields. So the farmer benefits a lot. We improve the groundwater level. We ensure the irrigation potential as well as the soil quality because of the carting of the silts on the farmer field. So that is also improved. So this is a win-win situation for all the stakeholders. Next, please. This I would particularly highlight, ma'am, like which all NGOs they have come forward and they have ultimately ensured how the community-led conservation awareness task has been done. So we have a partnership with the Center for People's Forestry. So they are working around 79 tribal villages in 2 mandals, and they have created awareness meetings, farmer field schools, as well as Adivasi farmer centers. Why this is important is because we need the NGO support ultimately to break the language barriers. So many languages are in Adilabad. There are 6 to 7 tribal communities. All the tribal communities that speak different languages. So because of the support for these NGOs and creating awareness in the local language, ultimately ensures the Adivasis particularly own this exercise, because ultimately the problem is also much in these habitations. So because of the help of these NGO, we are able to break the language barriers, and we are able to train the leaders and see that community-led conservation is taken up. And also they have helped us in the funding. So as we can see, ma'am, 2.5 crore support through government convergence as well as NGO convergence. So we have taken up soil moisture conservation works, rock fill dams, loose boulder structures. So all this we have also uploaded in the JSJB portal, ma'am. Next, please. This is again one NGO, ma'am. So Bharati Agro Industries Foundation. So they actually took the support from HDFC Bank, and they are our entire technical partner in the aspirational block. So they have also taken up this exercise. Now these persons are ultimately, apart from their resource persons, community resource persons taken by the NGO, they are also local people only. So on the, no doubt we are ensuring the water conservation, but we are also able to ensure local employment also. So when the community resource persons are taken from the local level, we are able to break the language barriers. We are able to give employment at the local level, as well as we are able to ensure the water conservation. So that also I would like to highlight, one. Whatever the works which have been taken, I have earlier also covered, ma'am. Farm pond units, trench cumbers, then rainwater harvesting structures, check dams. These all have been taken up. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. So this is demand side, ma'am. So demand side, how we have been able to address. So agriculture in particularly, since we are an agrarian economy, so demand side, water conservation, water use efficiency is also important through inline drip irrigation, through sprinkler systems, through farm ponds and recharge structures. We have increased also over the years this use and the implementation at the farmer field levels. It has also, the area has been increased, which I will cover in the next slide. Next. So as we can see, ma'am, in 24, it was 590 hectares of the sprinkler. So it has increased to 793 hectares. Inline drip, 146 hectares. It has increased to 401 hectares. Oil palm drip, it has also increased. So this ultimately is, we are able to address the demand side approach, which is also very important for the water conservation. This is implemented through the convergence of various schemes of the horticulture department, as well as of the EGS. So in the, as we know, in the horticulture department, through Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, the National Mission of Oil Seeds and Oil Palm, there are various schemes. But implementing this on a sustainable pattern and identifying where it needs to be implemented, that ultimately ensures that the right farmer gets the right benefit. Next, please. So now, because of this, there has been crop diversification also, ma'am. So now, earlier farmers, particularly, they have been on single crop, and that also cotton. Now we are seeing the crop diversification in Kharif as well as in Rabi. So in Kharif, we can see red gram, green gram, black gram, and vegetables. This all are ultimately linked to providing these implements also. So if you provide the sprinkler and drip irrigation, then only farmer will diversify to vegetables. So this linkage and implementation, motivating the farmers, has helped. And why this is important? Because ultimately it reduces the monsoon-led dependency, the adverse effects of the climate change, and the local availability, the local marketing. This all ultimately helps in increasing the farmer incomes also. Next, please. So this also we have taken one program, Ma Thota program. So this is ultimately community orchards development. Ma Thota, Thota means ultimately orchard only. So we have developed a community orchards in 1 acre per family in the 10 acres contiguous patches. So 500 acres, around 22 project villages. So 500 direct beneficiary families, we have implemented it. And here are the sustainable agriculture practices, particularly non-pesticide management, then Jivamrutam, providing the nursery-based plants. So in our nurseries only, we raise these plants, and we have been able to supply them. And ultimately, the survival is also being ensured. So 94% survival rate through this Ma Thota program has also been ensured. So this is being undertaken in particularly in the forest pattas. So wherever we are given forest pattas under Forest Rights Act, so we have linked this. So ultimately, the diversification is there, as well as the demand side management is also ensured. Next, please. One Mahotsava is a local based program, ma'am. So ultimately, avenue plantation and tank site plantation and different types of plantation, community based plantation, plantation in public institutions. So this ultimately is linked with EGS. So I would tell, ma'am, like in 2025-26 only. So we have undertaken around 47 lakh plantation. So every year we give this target. It's basically led by the state government also. So 46 lakh plantation has been undertaken. So every year this target has been decided at the district level, then the state level the target is approved, and it is linked with different funds. So EGS funds, CAMPA funds. So this is also very important ultimately to ensure like supply. I talked about supply, then storage, then demand. So supply side, this has been ultimately addressed through forest and catchment protection under Van Mahotsav and avenue plantation. Next, please. So this just whatever has been the impact. So particularly farmers benefit, then area impact, water savings, and technology adoption. So we have been able to ensure that groundwater recharge, then reduced energy cost, crop quality improvement is there, and obviously long term resilience for the farming communities. So because of this multi convergence approach and convergence of the different schemes, we have been able to ensure this. Next, please. Economic impact also, ma'am, very less investment and high returns. So if an investment of check dam of only 4.84 lakhs, it will ensure like 21 lakh income is generated in a season. So this is ultimately the importance of the water conservation, ma'am. Just I would like to highlight cost benefit ratio, as I told. In a period of 2 years only, we will be able to see the results. Next, please. In PMKSY 1.0 and 2.0, apart from the watershed conservation, apart from the rainwater harvesting, we have been able to provide the livelihood support also. So agriculture, livestock support, farm equipment support, transport services, retail and commerce, skill-based units. So this is all also an added advantage because through diversification and the crop diversification, as well as integrate natural farming, this will ultimately help in the long run in the water conservation also, improving the returns, as well as reduce the demand, whatever the high demand is there, because ultimately it will ensure that irrigation use efficiency is there. So through the farm equipments and through the transport services. So this has also been this is beyond our like the next approach. This also should be undertaken, which we have implemented in the PMKSY 1.0 and 2.0. Next, please. This is a success story, ma'am, of the two watershed projects. So earlier scenario and current scenario, as I have already told, like tanker dependency has now changed into year-round drinking water supply. Single crop cycle has now changed to double cropping. And obviously, when the water is not there, then there will be migration. When stable groundwater is there, the local communities will ultimately be empowered. They will get the livelihood support and they will stay there and the villages will develop. So farmers can now plan future here. So this is actually a quote from village community. We don't need to go anywhere. We can plan our futures here. Next, please. This is just one case study, ma'am, how we have identified critical habitations where the water scarcity was there, and how there is a Sungapur village in Narnur Mandal. So such kind of critical habitations have been identified, many such critical habitations, and because of the convergence of the scheme. So here we have converged through ITDA grants, through NREGS, through electricity grant, as well as the district crucial balance fund. So 4 types of grants we converge, and we will able to ensure reliable water facility to Gonds and Lambada tribal community. So the happiness on their faces, like what they told, like because of the lack of water scarcity, people were not willing to marry their daughters in that village. But after this sustainable water supply, now the scenario has changed. They were very happy. So this is just one of the habitation where how we are identifying the critical habitations. As in earlier series also, we know, ma'am, Adilabad is still critical and we have a long way to go. But we are on that job, ma'am. Next, please. So these are the just testimonials from in Kottur village. So now that farmer is going Bengal gram and Jawar, earning 30,000 extra per acre. Then watershed committee member is telling like how they built together one structure and how 22 farmers are benefiting. And now the request is we want more such dams. So when we see the results, obviously the request will also be there, and we are on that job also to implement more check dams wherever it's needed. Next, please. This is a video, ma'am, which I will request to play at the end. Next, please. Next, please. So, as I told ma'am, like we have earlier used that CLAR technique to identify the different zones, and we'll continue in the same way. The app has been used for the monitoring and uploading of the structures. So, geotagging is very important because until unless we don't do the ground truthing, then it will create problems in the long run. So, that is also very important, which we are ensuring through EGS as well as through other based technologies. And whatever the CLART based data we have got, so that also we are using to implement at the field level. So deciding which structure is suited at what place. Next, please. Sustainability can be ensured ultimately through Jan Bhagidari, through watershed committees, user groups, watershed associations, and developing the standard operating procedures for the regular inspections, as well as taking timely repairs. So the deciding the timeline of the repairs is also very important. Like after a structure is completed, we need to monitor it also, which has to be monitored ultimately by the community, and doing the capacity building for that monitoring and for that training is also very important. So that has been taken up. Particularly in the Jal Jeevan mission, we have trained these community level and local level gram panchayat workers also. So who are particularly monitoring and who are now taking care of the local pipeline networks and operating the entire network of the water distribution systems. So that we have taken under the Jal Jeevan mission, which has ultimately ensured that community ownership is also there, ma'am. And financial sustainability, as I have already told, like pooling different partners, entirely only administration capacity is high, but also somewhat limited at some scale. So if we take the partnership from the different organizations, from the different NGOs, it will also help sustainability in the long run. Next, please. So in this like next 1-2 years, so obviously like in Narnur aspirational block, we have to complete the balanced tanks desiltation. We have also sent a proposal of the integrated farming system in the aspirational block, that also we will be implementing. We have got the 2 crores award, which we are now particularly focusing on improving the urban recharge system. So through a GIS based asset mapping now, because in the rural areas we have a lot of funding, but in the urban areas also we need to work upon. So the 2 crore award, our plan is to particularly utilize in the urban recharge systems, because the population expansion, the structure expansion, concrete jungle, all these problems are more in the urban area. So this we will be implementing in the long run, ma'am. And obviously smart monitoring based dashboards will be there. So in order to ensure that all the works are ultimately taken in the right spirit. Next, please. So this is what is from my side, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I would just request to play that video also.
Sure, sir.
శ్రీనివాస్ గ్రామము కప్పరదేవి చెక్ డ్యామ్ ఈ యొక్క వాటర్ షెడ్ నుంచి చెక్ డ్యామ్ కట్టక ముందు మాకు ఎటువంటి రబీ పంట వేయకపోతుంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు చెక్ డ్యామ్ కట్టినాక ఒక 40-50 ఎకరాల్లో మేము రబీ వేస్తున్నాము. రబీ బాగా మాకు ఈ చెక్ డ్యామ్ తోటి బాగా ఆదాయం పెరుగుతున్నది. మరి చెక్ డ్యామ్ ఇసుంటి ఇంకా మాకు చెక్ డ్యామ్లు కడితే మాకు మంచి సౌకర్యం కలుగుతుందని జొన్న పంట వేస్తున్నాము, కంది వేస్తున్నాము, పెసలు వేస్తున్నాము. ఒక 2-3 పంట రకాలు మేము వేసుకుంటాము ఈ చెక్ డ్యామ్ తోటి. ఈ చెక్ డ్యాము బాగా సక్సెస్ లో ఉన్నది. రైతులు సుఖ ఆనందం చేస్తున్నారు ఈ చెక్ డ్యామ్ కొట్టినందుకు. మరి మాకు వాటర్ షెడ్యూల్ మంచి పని చేసిందని ఇట్లా సలహా ఇచ్చిండ్రు అని చెప్తున్నారు.
Thank you so much, Rajarshi sir. It was a really interesting presentation, a very comprehensive approach that we could see at every stage you have kept in mind. There is technology integration, there is community participation, there is participation from the civil society. So a very comprehensive approach, that is what we can say. And then we will hear from ma'am at the end what she has to say about your presentation. We will now hear from Saket sir. Sir, thank you for joining us today, and we can have your presentation now.
नमस्कार मैम।
Namaskar, Saket. Welcome.
मैम ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ अशोकनगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैं ये जल संचय अभियान के बारे में प्रेजेंटेशन देने के लिए उपस्थित हूँ मैम। अशोकनगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट ग्वालियर डिवीजन, मध्य प्रदेश में ग्वालियर डिवीजन का एक छोटा सा जिला है मैम। एंड लास्ट 2 इयर्स में जो काम किए गए हैं, बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस पर ध्यान दिया गया है, उसके बारे में मैं ब्रीफली डिस्कस करना चाहूँगा आपके साथ, आपके सामने। अशोकनगर का एरिया मैम 4,500 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर के आसपास है, लिटिल मोर देन दैट, एंड पॉपुलेशन इज लिटिल मोर देन 8 lakhs। एनुअल रेनफॉल यहाँ पे 1400 mm 140 सेंटीमीटर है मैम। एंड ये 2 नदियों के बीच का एरिया आता है। ईस्टर्न साइड में बेतवा नदी फ्लो करती है, वेस्टर्न साइड में सिंध
क्या
नदी फ्लो करती
स्लाइड्स
है।
नहीं मूव कर रहे हैं क्या अनन्या?
Yes, sir, you will have to keep saying next so that we can change the slide. You can just keep saying next. Yeah. Yes.
Kindly next slide please. Ma'am, that is the this is the map of the district, and थोड़ा सा विजिबल नहीं है, छोटा बना है मैम, बट जोग्राफिकल जो डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे रहा था दैट इज रिगार्डिंग दिस मैप ओनली। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। दिस इज लिटिल मोर क्लियर मैम। नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट। This is the basic description of the district as a whole, ma'am. The population and other points related to the district. जन भागीदारी जल संचय अभियान के बारे में जो मेजर कंपोनेंट्स थे और जो स्ट्रेटजी अपनाई गई थी, उसको मैं थोड़ा सा और आगे डिस्कस करना चाहूँगा मैम। नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट। मैम दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट, जो यहाँ पे ग्राउंड वाटर का जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट एज ए होल में जो सिनेरियो है मैम, दैट इज सेटिस्फैक्ट्री है। यहाँ पे जो लास्ट असेसमेंट किया गया था वो 2011 के आधार पे, तो ये लगभग कंफर्टेबल जोन में है। 48% अभी तक यूटिलाइजेशन हुआ है। तो फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू भूजल की स्थिति तो ठीक है ग्राउंड वाटर की, बट चूंकि एग्रीकल्चर ही मेन ऑक्यूपेशन है यहाँ पे, और सिंचाई के सुविधाएं, नहर, कैनाल वगैरह थोड़े कम हैं, तो जो तालाब हैं और कुएं हैं, दीज आर द मेजर स्ट्रक्चर्स जो हमें रबी क्रॉप के समय हेल्प करते हैं। तो इसलिए वाटर स्ट्रक्चर्स की यहाँ पे आवश्यकता हमेशा बनी रहती है। इस बात को देखते हुए जो जल संचय जल भागीदारी अभियान है और इसके जो मेजर कंपोनेंट्स हैं, इसके बारे में 2024-25 में और अभी 25-26 में भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जो मेजर डिसीजंस लिए गए थे। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट। तो इसमें मेन टारगेट ये लिया गया था 24-25 में मैम कि एटलीस्ट 5 मीडियम और लार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स ईच विलेज में बनाए जाएं और उसको समय सीमा में कंप्लीट किए जाएं। 900 प्लस विलेजेज हैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट में मैम, और इस लिहाज से जो डिफरेंट वाटर स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं उनको लगभग मोर देन 4000 वाटर स्ट्रक्चर्स को चिन्हित किया गया और उनको कंप्लीट करने के लिए एफर्ट्स लगाए गए। यहाँ पे जो मेन टारगेट रखा गया था मैम कि जो डिफरेंट स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। तो चूंकि ये एरिया है जो हिस्टोरिकली मैम यहाँ पे तालाब और कुएं और बावड़ी, इन तीनों के माध्यम से सिंचाई भी की जाती रही थी और पीने के पानी की भी व्यवस्थाएं होती रही थी। और रिसेंटली यहाँ पे चूंकि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ एमपी ने भी मनरेगा और अन्य योजनाओं के माध्यम से किसानों को इंसेंटिवाइज किया था कि आप अपने खेत में भी कुछ तालाब बनाएं, जिसको खेत तालाब कहा गया था। तो ये 3-4 स्ट्रक्चर्स पे यहाँ पे फोकस किया गया था कि सार्वजनिक कूप और निजी कूप, जिसको कि मध्य प्रदेश में कपिल धारा भी कहा जाता है, तो कपिल धारा कूप लिए जाएं, सार्वजनिक पब्लिक कूप लिए जाएं, कुएं लिए जाएं, और खेत तालाब भी बड़े किसान या मध्यम किसान हैं जिनके पास जमीन ज्यादा है तो उनको दिए जाए, ताकि एक पार्ट वो अपने पॉन्ड वहां पे बनाए और उससे सिंचाई करें एटलीस्ट रबी सीजन में। तो ये कुल मिला के हमारे जो लगभग मोर देन मीडियम एंड लार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स थे, इसमें कुछ स्टॉप डैम, चेक डैम भी ऐड किए गए थे, और अमृत सरोवर के भी जो पुराने काम थे उनको भी कंप्लीट करने हेतु कार्रवाई की गई थी। तो इसमें से अभी मैम हमने 2024-25 में ये जो टोटल वाटर स्ट्रक्चर थे जो लिए गए थे, इसमें से लगभग 45%, लिटिल लेस देन 45%, 4,500 में से लगभग 1400 स्ट्रक्चर तो हमारे पूरे हो चुके हैं मैम, और इसको जियो टैगिंग भी की गई है। बाकी पे काम प्रगतिरत है, चूंकि इसमें कन्वर्जेंस मूलतः मनरेगा स्कीम से की गई थी, जो अभी चेंज भी हुआ है, तो उसके कुछ पेमेंट्स वगैरह के भुगतान पेंडिंग रहते हैं, जिसके कारण वो कंप्लीट 100% नहीं हुए हैं, बट होपफुली ये जल्दी ही कंप्लीट हो जाएंगे। इसके बाद जो 25-26 में भी हमारा जो करंट ईयर है, इसमें भी जो फोकस रखा गया था कि हमें खेत तालाब और कुओं को हमें ज्यादा लेने पड़ेंगे, क्योंकि हिस्टोरिकली लोगों को, किसानों को उनकी प्रैक्टिस भी है और वो इसके में ज्यादा इजिली उसको कंप्लीट भी करते हैं। तो खेत तालाब बड़ी संख्या में सेलेक्ट किए गए और कुओं को किसानों के लिए, तो ये दो हमारे जो टारगेट हैं। इसके अलावा एक जो यहाँ के स्ट्रक्चर लोकल बावड़ी है मैम, उसको भी हम लोगों ने आइडेंटिफाई करने का कोशिश किया है। चंदेरी करके यहाँ पे एक हिस्टोरिकल साइट है, जहाँ पे कि एक समय में कहा जाता है कि 1200 बावड़ियाँ हुआ करती थी। अभी हम लोगों ने 70 के आसपास आइडेंटिफाई किया है, जिसको कि हम लोग रिजुविनेट कर सकते हैं, और बहुत सारे अब वो डेड हो चुके हैं या आइडेंटिफाई करना भी मुश्किल है। तो वी आर ट्राइंग कि हम उनमें से भी कुछ और बावड़ियों को आइडेंटिफाई करें, और उनको अगर हम रिजुविनेट कर सकते हैं तो वो हमारे लिए भी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट एसेट्स होंगे। इन सब के कारण ये जो हमारे 24-25 में जो काम लिए गए थे मैम, और 25-26 में जो हमने सेलेक्ट किए हैं कि इन सारे बिंदुओं पे काम करने हैं, बावड़ियों को इंक्लूडेड, तो इसके कारण ऑलरेडी ऑल्दो हम लोग सेटिस्फैक्ट्री कंडीशन में थे ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल में, बट एक स्लाइड में हमने मेंशन किया है पीछे, तो 3-4 सालों के जो कॉम्पेरेटिव हमने ग्राउंड वाटर का रिपोर्टिंग कराया, तो उसमें उसमें इम्प्रूवमेंट शो हुआ है। और ये प्रोबेबली ये जो जल संचय जल भागीदारी अभियान के तहत जो इम्पोर्टेंट एक्टिविटी की गई थी, तो उसके भी ये इम्पैक्ट हो सकते हैं। अदर फैक्टर्स के कारण भी हो सकते हैं, बट इसका भी एक मेजर इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है। जो अदर कंपोनेंट्स इसमें थे मैम, डीसिल्टिंग एंड क्लीनिंग कंपोनेंट, तो इसमें हमने अगेन कुओं को, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे पुराने कुएं
अनन्या, स्लाइड को रन करो, वो एक ही जगह। हाँ।
जी मैम। तो इसमें हमने जो कुओं को हमने बेसिकली क्लीनिंग के लिए लिया, और लगभग हमने 125 कुओं की सफाई कराई, जिससे कि वो कुएं अब वहां से सिंचाई भी हो सकते हैं और पीने के पानी भी मिल सकते हैं। एफॉरेस्टेशन का जो कंपोनेंट है मैम, इसमें हमने लगभग 4000 प्रोजेक्ट लिए। यहाँ पे एक लोकल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ एमपी का है, माँ की बगिया, और हॉर्टिकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट के साथ उसमें कंबाइन करके उसमें फलों के और अन्य लगभग 4000 प्रोजेक्ट लिए, और इससे लगभग 1000 हेक्टेयर जो लैंड है वहाँ पे ये एफॉरेस्टेशन की एक्टिविटी हो पाएगी। नदियां यहाँ पे कम है मैम, 2 ही बड़ी नदी हैं और उसके छोटे छोटे रिव्यूलेट्स हैं। तो हमने 18 किलोमीटर के 3 रिव्यूलेट्स को आइडेंटिफाई किया था, जिसको कि हम उनको रिजुविनेट कर सकें, और वो चूंकि फीड करते हैं सिंध और बेतवा को, तो उसमें भी कुछ हमारे ये हो सकते हैं। जो 3 मेजर स्टेक होल्डर्स थे, गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स तो हैं ही, इसके अलावा CSR और NGO को भी स्टेक होल्डर्स बनाने की बात की गई थी मैम। तो चूंकि ये इंडस्ट्रियलाइज्ड डिस्ट्रिक्ट है नहीं, बोलते एग्रीकल्चर है, तो CSR की तो यहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा स्कोप मिल नहीं पाया। एनजीओ की भी उपलब्धता बहुत कम है। 3-4 एनजीओ को हमने यहाँ पे आइडेंटिफाई कर पाए जो थोड़ा सा इसमें एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट कर पाए। मोस्टली गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट के जो हैं, रूरल डेवलपमेंट, अर्बन बॉडीज, आईसीडीएस, एजुकेशन, डब्ल्यूआरडी, एग्रीकल्चर एंड हॉर्टिकल्चर, इनको मिलाकर एंड डिपार्टमेंट, तो कुल इस प्रकार से 23rd स्कीम्स को हमने उनके जो रिसोर्सेस हैं उनको पूल करते हुए ये सारे एक्टिविटीज को हम लोग ले पाए हैं और आगे जो प्लान कर रहे हैं। तो इस प्रकार से मैम जो हमारे पेंडिंग वर्क्स हैं उसको हमारा टारगेट है कि इस साल हम कंप्लीट कर लें, और ये जो हमने 2025-26 के जो प्लान लिए हैं इसको भी हमारा टारगेट है कि 26 के एंड तक, मार्च तक तो थोड़ा मुश्किल है पूरा होना, लेकिन मिड 26-27 तक हम होपफुली इसको कंप्लीट करें। थैंक यू मैम। मैम कुछ हमारे वो हैं जो पूर्व में की क्या स्थितियां थी और बाद में जब हमने इन सारे जो बिंदु थे जो जल संचय जन भागीदारी, इसमें जो हमने एक्टिविटी किया तो जो इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ उसके कुछ फोटोग्राफ्स भी हैं मैम, तो वो आप लोगों के नेक्स्ट। Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for highlighting all the initiatives that are being taken undertaken currently, and the plans that are there for the future for the Ashoknagar district to improve the groundwater quality as well as groundwater retention and address the issue of water scarcity in the district. Thank you so much. Thank you to both the collectors for their presentations. And I think the audiences must have a lot of questions. We will first take questions from students who have joined us today. And I can see Vignesh on the screen. So Vignesh, you can just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir and ma'am. My name is D. Vignesh. I am studying class 10th in Adilabad, GHS number 2. My question is, how does drip irrigation help the farmers to save the water?
Okay, so what happens, Vignesh, is that when there is something called drip and sprinkler irrigation, which is also called micro irrigation, and there is something called flood irrigation. What happens is, suppose there's a field and you have a crop standing and you just flood the field with water. That's called flood irrigation. So what happens is that there is a lot of water wastage. You must have seen the paddy field and many other fields, with lots of water just soaked in. So the water use efficiency in such cases is very low. Water is not optimally utilized. There's a lot of water which is wasted. What happens in micro irrigation, drip and sprinkler, that in drip there is a pipe with little holes in it. So only the amount of water which needs to go to the crop. So near the crop there are holes, and only the amount of water which needs to go to the crop is goes. So it's not that the crop needs this much water and this much water comes through that hole, through that pipe, through drip irrigation. Only the amount which is needed goes. So simply explained, what it does, it saves water because only that much water is released which is needed, and it also enhances the water use efficiency of that area or of that crop, of that field. That suppose that on 30 the field was functioning at the 35% water use efficiency. With the micro irrigation, drip and sprinkler, it functions at 75 to 80% to 90% of water use efficiency. So a lot of water saving is there and water efficiency also rises.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a question from Mr. Amit. I think he has joined us. Yes, Akshara is also here, but we'll take a question from Mr. Amit Kumar Mittal. He has joined us on the screen. Sir, you can just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you for giving me an opportunity to ask the question. I worked in in military engineering services, retired as a chief engineer recently. We have we have some data in army that we have some bore wells which are defunct. You know, there is a life of a bore well for approximately 9 to 10 years. Somewhere it is only 5 years, depending on the water level. Do we have any pan India data for these kind of defunct bore wells so that we can recharge these bore wells through the rainwater or any excess water, which will be almost, cost free? So, is there any step in that direction? Do we have any data collection pan India? Are we really working in that direction? I just want to know that.
Amit, that's a fantastic suggestion. In fact, we have requested all the partner ministries, including the defense forces, that in your area, we have written letters to defense that all the defunct borewells that is in the area of the army, they should be recharged. But in fact, some of them have been recharged and uploaded on our Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari website. But currently, the water mission doesn't have the total pan India, data on how many defunct borewells are there. But we have requested defense to do the study, and it can really make a huge amount of difference to the groundwater level if it is taken up. So the defense forces had done, I think they won the second prize also in the Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari awards, but it's not, much more can be done.
Ma'am, I
Like
would
I
like to add
completely
one
agree with
thing.
you.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. I would like to
No,
add one more thing. Like it's very difficult for defense to, share the information which is within the defense land because of security issues. So what we have been doing at our own in defense forces. Like I was one of the pioneer to do that in defense forces. Okay. But the point is like CGWB and the state groundwater boards both have got lot of data about the bore wells. Like generally it is with their permission, the bore well is done. Most of the places, I'm not talking about the rural areas which are being done in, without any consent of these authorities. So at least that data can be taken directly from CGWB as well as from the state PHE boards. So a lot of data you will be able to collect and can be utilized at no cost. So I had given this idea to Mr. Ashok Kumar also, who was a secretary earlier, a few years back, I think couple of years back, but I think nothing happened in that direction. It is a very economical solution for a lot of groundwater recharging.
No, that's a very good suggestion. I've taken note. Let me discuss with CGWB on this.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for your response. And Akshara, we can have your question now. You can just unmute yourself and ask your question. I think she got disconnected. We have another question from Mr. Prakash. He's not able to join us on the screen. I'll just repeat his question. He's asking, should the nodal officer appointed by Jal Shakti Mantralaya contact the water hero and Jal Prahari for involvement in Jan Bhagidari?
I mean, it is not as such structured in the scheme, but that's a good suggestion.
Okay. Okay. Got it. I think Akshara just got disconnected. Meanwhile, she joins, ma'am. We can hear from you your thoughts on both the presentations and what you have to say to our audience regarding
So
water
on
conservation.
Adilabad, Rajshree's presentation, I think it was so fantastic that Rajshri, you should come and take my seat. Because the way you have, understood Jal Sanchay, Jan Bhagidari, and the multilaterality of the interventions which you've done. right from scientific planning to, data decision system and community involvement to livelihood, irrigation, water, energy, food nexus. I mean, involvement of NGOs and CSOs. Um, that has really led to remarkable changes that you've said, and improved groundwater level. So that is what is central to the Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari and Jal Shakti Abhiyan, that water impacts all sectors. And you have understood it so well, and your team has understood it so well, and you have not gone about in a haphazard manner, like digging trenches or just anywhere doing anything. But you have really gone in the way that we would have wanted, and all the aspects of our mission is there in to be seen in Adilabad's presentation. So fantastic! This was one of the best presentations that I've seen, Rajshri, and keep on doing the good work. I mean, your district is still not above the threshold, so you have to continue doing it with the same passion and same commitment that you have shown. I was just wondering that within short period of time, how much transformation has really, happened. And if when you say it has happened, it really is remarkable. Saket, I think you got to present very last moment, so it was more like a review than showcasing of best practices. But since you've recently joined, I guess it's excusable. But what I have learned is that the district administration has done a fantastic work in desilting the Memon tank. मेमोन टैंक को बहुत अच्छे से डिसल्ट किया है और कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन के साथ इसको काम किया है. And what has been fantastic is people have given Shramdan. So that is what I keep saying. And what our Honorable Prime Minister also says, that, whenever with a mission, the community participates, as we saw in Rajshri's case also, that now demand has started coming. Am I audible?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so in
Audible, ma'am.
Rajni's case, we saw that
Ma'am.
now so much demand is coming from other people also once community has started participating. So this in Ashoknagar, this lake was desilted. This tank was desilted through Shramdan, which is really good. And I'm sure that with Saket, with you, being new, and अब आप इसमें जो आपने सोचा है कि जो आपके लक्ष्य है उसको पूर्ण करिएगा, तो इस साल आई होप कि अशोक नगर
Definitely,
हमें
ma'am.
और भी
In fact,
अच्छा करके
I
दिखाएगा.
जी
जबकि
मैम,
आप सेफ
जी मैम,
डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैं, लेकिन पंजाब के भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक समय सेफ थे,
जी मैम.
लेकिन ओवर एक्सट्रैक्शन से क्या होता है, कोई भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट को हम सेफ मान के नहीं चल सकते. हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हमें पानी की सुरक्षा करनी चाहिए.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
तो ऑल द बेस्ट टू यू साकेत ऑल्सो, कि आपने जो कहा कि इस साल भी आपने बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स को एटलीस्ट आइडेंटिफाई किया है. बावड़ियों को ठीक करना, आइडेंटिफिकेशन भी एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है, और आप जरूर अच्छा करेंगे. इसके लिए मेरी
Sure, ma'am.
शुभेच्छा
I
आपके
will
साथ है.
check up this, ma'am. और
थैंक
बाकी
यू
बहुत सारी
अनन्या.
चीजें
आई
मैं
थिंक आई हैव टू.
Thank you,
Sure,
ma'am,
ma'am.
suggestions, ma'am. So, like as you told, ma'am, we are still in not that good zone as per the report of the CGWD. So we definitely need to work a lot, and we will take your suggestions and we will implement, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Saket. Thank you, Rajshri. Thank you, Ananya. Thank you, kids. I'm sorry we exceeded time, so we cannot
Yeah,
continue anymore.
yes. Thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. Thank you to the students. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to both the district collectors, Saket sir and Rajshri sir. Thank you to everyone, to the audience for joining us today. And it was a really wonderful session. Thank you to the audience for their questions as well. We'll be back again with the next edition of the DM Dialogue. And thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Thank you.